you still like Trump in 2026. If you still like Trump in 2026, you got to watch this video right now because we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. So here's the deal. I'm gonna come straight to it. I'm not even gonna drag it out. Donald Trump said recently that he likes Bill Clinton. Donald Trump said he likes Bill Clinton. Now, I want you to understand that the left doesn't even like. First of all, I know you don't like Bill Clinton. If you like Trump, you don't like Bill Clinton, right? But do you understand that the left can't stand the Clintons? I think many liberals have issues with Clintons. Now, obviously, when you get into the liberal world, you're going to find some Clinton love. But in general, the Clintons are not very well liked, even on the left. And the more left you go, the more hate it is, right? So think about that. You don't like the Clintons. The left definitely doesn't like the Clintons. Trump, however, likes the Clintons. You, like myself, think that the Clintons probably, well, not the Clintons, I should say the Clintons. Bill Clinton probably was up to no good on Epstein's Island, right? I don't know for a fact, but I mean, Monica Lewinsky, anyone? Right? Not a fan of the Clintons. Bill Clinton obviously is a dirty bastard. That's what we know about, right? Monica Lewinsky, right? So think about the stuff that we don't know, like maybe what he might have done on Epstein Island, right? So, once again, we agree the Clintons are horrible, right? We agree Bill Clinton probably did some stuff on that island, man. Now, one difference, this is where we're going to separate. You're not going to be honest about this, but I know that the real reason that if you cared about the Epstein files, I know the real reason was he was hoping Clinton would be exposed in there and they would end up in prison, or finally, like here it is, a chance to finally, right? You hate the Clintons, you feel they're corrupt. I agree with you, right? We're not sure about the Epstein stuff. You probably think you're sure. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. Put it that way. So you were like, great. Now we can get people like the Clintons, get them locked up. I'm sick and tired of these folks getting away with stuff, right? Look at how they attacked Donald Trump and whatever, and the Clintons around there. You know, she's still on TV saying crap, right? That's really what you were interested in. Tell people it was because of the kids and the victims, but honestly, let's just be honest. It's just you and I talking. No one else is here, right? You really wanted the Clintons to get exposed, right? I will remind you, let's go back to the beginning. Donald Trump says he likes Bill Clinton. Now, before he even said that, I already pointed out something a while ago. That, well, let's do this. You will hardly ever hear anyone else point this out. I picked this up just because I don't just take in what people are saying online or whatever. I like to actually seek my own information in terms of doing my own research. And one of the things I ran into, which I never heard anywhere, I found this, was that Donald Trump in 2016, when he won during his speech, he says we owe a debt to Hillary Clinton. Let me repeat what I said. Even in 2016, Donald Trump was complimenting Hillary Clinton when he won the election. Hillary Clinton? That's your boy? Is that your king? The guy who in 2016 said, Hillary Clinton, we owe her a debt? And now in 2026, after we see pictures of Bill Clinton in a hot tub with Epstein or whatever the photos that come out, Donald Trump says, oh, I like Bill Clinton. Why you like Bill Clinton? Because of the way he treats me. I'm going to add to it even more, right? If you still crazy enough to still like Trump, I'm going to add to that. I'm going to make it even worse. It gets worse. It always gets worse, right? So Hillary Clinton recently did an interview where she calls out Donald Trump for covering up the Epstein files. Let's rewind. Donald Trump says we owe a debt to Hillary Clinton in 2016. Donald Trump in 2026 says, Clinton is a great guy. Bill Clinton is a great guy, right? These same people are saying, hey, Trump is covering up the Epstein files. You and I hate Bill Clinton. You and I hate Hillary Clinton. Why does your boy not agree with us? Why does your boy like someone like Bill Clinton? Even considering that Bill Clinton's wife just said, hey man, Trump is covering up Epstein files, right? So Bill Clinton is not even like he's a cool dude or he changed his views or whatever, right? They're going after your boy. So I want you to think for a second, like, let's use some critical thinking. What reason do you think Donald Trump would say he likes Bill Clinton? The people who are saying he's covering up for files? Why would he come up with a logical reason? Like, let's put the emotion aside and let's try to think critically. What logical reason would Donald Trump say he likes Bill Clinton? I'll give you another piece. Like I said, it just gets worse and worse. We're talking about Trump, right? I know you don't get it. You still like Trump and Tony Jason. You don't get it, right? You think people who don't like him, it's Trump syndrome, and you watching liberal media, MSNBC, right? Even though you're listening to this video right now, and you know, if you weren't being emotional, you'd recognize, like, hey man, this guy did his own research and found out that Trump said we owe a debt to Hillary Clinton, and I guarantee you didn't know that, right? I put good money that you didn't know that, right? And I knew that, and I'm telling you, I didn't hear anybody else say this, right? I've watched a lot of right-wing media, a lot of left-wing media, right? Independent. I watch mainstream media. I never heard that from anyone. I found it myself, right? And you think the guy that does his own digging and find out stuff unique, you think, MSNBC. Listen, man, MSNBC is propaganda. They're one of the worst of the networks. MSNBC and CNN are the hamburger and fries of news media. So get out of here with any, you got Trump. Come on, man. Let's be adults, right? Let's not use talking points and whatever. Think for yourself. Say stuff that is not stuff you heard online, right? Let's hear your own thoughts. Why would Donald Trump compliment Hillary Clinton in 2016 and in 2026 say he likes Bill Clinton, even as Bill Clinton's wife is saying that Trump is covering up? And let me just say, a lot of times in media, people, they don't, you know how people say someone passed instead of just saying they died, even though they're talking to an adult? The media kind of does that, right? They say stuff, they don't like say the real deal. I want to say the real deal, right? I'm not going to say that Hillary Clinton says that Trump is in the Epstein files or he's covering up the Epstein files. I'm going to say what it really is. She didn't say these words, but I'm going to say the words. Hillary Clinton is accusing Donald Trump of protecting pedophiles. That's what it means when she says he's covered up the Epstein files, right? That's what that means. I want it to be very, very clear, right? So, she says he's covering up for pedophiles. Trump says he likes Clinton. 2016, he says we owe her a debt of gratitude. What is the logical reason why he would be complimented? And again, it always gets worse, man. It's always, again, I know you think Trump derangement syndrome or whatever. If you still like Trump, you don't get it, right? You don't get it. But I'm trying to unplug you and wake you up to the reality. I'm going to give you a third thing. Compliment Clinton in 2016. Compliment Clinton in 2026 as he liked Clinton. People are saying Bill Clinton should testify, right? At first, Donald Trump was saying, oh, Clinton's in the file. The Clintons, right? And then we got to this point of like, oh, have them, let's bring them, subpoena them and whatever, right? And nothing yet. Then Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are like, all right, you want us to testify? Let's do it in public. You want us to talk about this? They're like, hey, you really want us to talk about this, Donald? Then all of a sudden, oh, I don't know. Bill Clinton, I like him. I like Bill Clinton. I don't know if we need to have him. I want you to give me a logical reason that's not about emotions. Why you think, well, figure these things out in your brain. Make these things, it's like a puzzle. Make these things fit together. Your boy likes Clinton. Your boy was saying Clinton should testify. And then when Clinton's like, all right, we want us to talk, we'll talk. Now all of a sudden Trump's like, oh God, we don't need to. Can we move on about this stuff? Talk about that. Okay, we released the files. Let's move on. Bill Clinton, he's a cool guy. It gets worse. I'm going to give you a third thing. Compliment Hillary Clinton in 2016, compliment Bill Clinton in 2026. Years ago, Donald Trump put up a picture of him and Bill Clinton in his Mar-a-Lago residence. As far as I know, that photo is still there. The left doesn't like the Clintons. They think they're corrupt. They can't, every time Hillary Clinton says something, I guarantee you some left-wing, Hillary Clinton, right? They don't like Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump has a photo of him and Bill Clinton in his property. What is the logical reason? Again, make this fit, right? I believe that Trump is a liar, a scam artist. I believe he is basically pulling a fraud on you. He's manipulated you, right? That being the case, it all makes sense. All this stuff makes sense if that's true. Can you come up with an alternative scenario where this makes sense? Is it 4D chess? Trump is trying to be like, oh, I want to keep them guessing. Oh, let's get the Bill Clinton. Oh, actually, Bill Clinton's a nice guy. Let's get him. No, he's a nice guy. Let's get him. And then the media is just like, that's what it is. He's playing the media, right? The media is going to be like, oh, he did this. Is that what it is? Or is it Occam's razor? I'll even give you a fourth one. I always mix this up, whether Trump was at the Clintons' wedding or the Clintons were at Trump's wedding. You and I agree on something. Our politicians are corrupt. It's not about the Republican Party. It's about our politicians. Democratic Party is a corrupt party. The Republican Party is a corrupt party. These politicians, they lie to us and manipulate us. All they really care about is themselves and power and their insider trading. Right? So, you understand that you will have Republicans. I mean, I hope you're smart enough to get this. You'll have Republicans that'll get online and talk about the Democrats are bad and this and that, and then behind the scenes they're having drinks with them. Kind of like how we saw Cenk. I know this is media. Cenk is talking all this fire and fury about the right wing and whatever and fascism, whatever, and then he's posting on social media having drinks with what's his name? What's that guy name? Oh my goodness. Oh, the guy who was taking money from Russia. Benny. I'm gonna call him Benny Hanna because I don't remember his name. Whatever his name, I'm gonna just call him Benny Hanna. You know who I'm talking about. He's having drinks with that guy. Now, it's not about having drinks with somebody on the right. That guy? Now, if you like Trump, you probably think Benny's a cool guy or whatever, whatever. But know and understand that on the left, this guy Benny is got to be one of the worst, right? He is looked at as a traitor to the country, somebody with no morals, no values, or whatever, right? And when Cenk talks about fascism and all this kind of stuff and authority and all this stuff that he says, like really aggressive against the Republican Party and the right wing, Benny would be at the heart of that. So how he having drinks with this guy, right? And that's what these politicians do. Like Joe Biden. I don't like Joe Biden either. Joe Biden will talk about Republican this, Republican that, but he's friends with them. I forgot who was it. Who was the guy? Is it Graham or whatever? One of them corrupt politicians. I think it was the guy who kept like pausing. He kept having a seizures or something. They have like this relationship. They're good friends. So it's like wrestling, right? They get on camera, and then behind the scenes they're like, "Gee, let's have a beer," right? You probably understand that. You probably understand the idea of a uniparty, right? But for some reason, you don't understand that Trump is at the heart of that. He's fooled you into thinking he's an outsider and he's not a politician. No, he's the ultimate politician as president, right? But he's so good that he's gotten you to believe that a president of the United States could ever be not a politician. So you understand the system is corrupt and these politicians, they lie, and it's wrestling and all this like theatrics and trying to get us to fight each other. You get that. But somehow Trump was able to create this ball around himself because it's kind of like everybody else, but not me. I'm the authentic guy. I'm just telling it like it is, right? People don't like my tweets, but look at my policies, right? Why would Trump say he likes Clinton while the Clintons are saying he's covering up for pedophiles? And then the final question. Why would you still like a guy in 2026 that's covering up for pedophiles and likes Bill Clinton? I don't know if he is a pedophile or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is. Why do you let's not worry about why Trump likes Clinton. Why do you like Trump, the guy who likes Clinton? Clinton, the guy who might have done some stuff with some underage girls on the island. We don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. I know you wouldn't be surprised either. So why do you like that guy? Why do you like the guy who is so against the files coming out that he went against his biggest ally, Marjorie Taylor Greene? Marjorie Taylor Greene tells us stuff that us, the Trump derangement syndrome, right? We're not surprised what she's telling us. We figured as much. To you, I don't know, you probably think she's lying. She says that Trump and the administration was pressuring her to shut up and don't sign the bill to release the files. Why? Why Trump didn't want to release the files? Then all of a sudden he flips and he acts like he wants the files to come out. Yeah, let's get those Democrats. And then he shows Clinton in the hot tub and whatnot. And you're like, see, it's just Democrats. It's not me. Then he's like, oh, Clinton should test it. I don't know if he didn't say that, but he was like, get them, get the Clintons. And then they're trying to get them to testify. And he's like, yeah, okay. And then Clinton's like, oh, yeah, you want us to testify? We're going to do it in public. Then Trump, I don't know. Actually, Clinton's a nice guy. Can we move on to something else? Why do you still like that guy in 2026? I assume that you, like me, has a problem with pedophiles. Therefore, anyone that's protecting them, oh my goodness. I assume you hate wokeness and people that are woke, right? These woke people and pronouns, right? Probably gets you really angry. But the anger towards the wokeness, surely is nothing compared to the anger towards people protecting pedophiles like Trump, right? So it's like the woke people, I can't stand them. Trump cover for pedophiles? Woo! Just, right? Certainly, it's got to be at least that level. I presume you don't like DEI, right? They're hiring people based on their skin color. They're not qualified, right? That's your view, not mine, right? People should earn their position, right? So when you see this DEI stuff and they trying to tell white people are bad or whatever it is, that stuff makes you really, right? You trying to do your job and they want you to oh, white people are bad and this and that and DEI and equity, and you're like, right? And then when it comes to Trump, a guy protecting pedophiles, oh my goodness, again, the DEI stuff, Trump protecting pedophiles, right? It's gotta be at least more than that, right? Right? You probably can't stand the left and how they kill babies, right? Talking about, oh, it's a woman's rights, right? Well, maybe that's one topic that you could be a little, because if you believe abortion is murder, then it's like, okay, it's like millions of abortions, I believe, millions of murders in your view versus pedophiles. I don't think they've molested millions of people. So let's say best case scenario, they've molested maybe a couple hundred kids, maybe millions of babies killed through abortion versus a couple hundred kids, abused sexually. Okay, maybe you could be like, the guy protecting pedophiles, millions of babies killed. Okay, that's the one thing I'll give you that. I'm trying to be fair. All right, I'll give you that. Okay. So if you're more mad about the abortions than the people protecting pedophiles, again, let's not play games. Let's not talk about people passing. Let's just say they died. Let's not talk about people protecting pedophiles. Let's say Donald Trump protecting pedophiles, right? Clearly, that makes you more angry than the other things. The abortion, I'll give you that. That's not so bad that you perhaps are more bothered by millions of babies killed, right? Obviously, the other half of the country would argue whether these are actual babies that are being killed, but that's another topic, right? If you believe that they're babies, then in your view it's murder, so okay. How can you still like, and again, I'm not going to say past, I'm going to say it like it is. How can you still like a guy protecting pedophiles in 2026? Guy being Donald Trump. Good friend of Bill Clinton. I want you to comment below, because I haven't taken my Trump derangement syndrome pills today, so my brain is just like, I can't think. So I want you to comment below and give me a logical explanation as to why you like a pedophile protector, Donald Trump. The left would say he's a pedophile himself, but let's stick to what we know as fact. Donald Trump factually is a pedophile protector. If I found out that he was a pedophile himself, I wouldn't be surprised, but I can't say that as a fact. Suspicious, yeah, but I can't say that as a fact. If I were typical left-wing media, I would say it as a fact, right? I would say definitively, he's a pedophile, right? He's a fascist, he's a right? But I want to stick to facts. Factually, Donald Trump is a pedophile protector. Whether he's a pedophile himself, maybe. I can't say that because I don't know. Not because I'm afraid of being sued. No. I'm trying to stick to the facts, right? So I want to delineate between my suspicions that he's a pedophile, which I'm suspicious of, versus my knowledge that he's protecting pedophiles. A knowledge that we now share, right? You like Trump in 2026? Hopefully after this video, that's past tense, but I doubt it. You like Donald Trump? But that means you like a guy protecting pedophiles, which means that pedophilia doesn't bother you. Woke is a problem. DEI is a problem. Pedophilia, I'll virtue signal online. But when it comes time to actually step up or shut up, I'm going to be like, well, you know, he's protecting pedophiles, but he closed the border. The border that was open, like there's a door at the border, and he just like slammed it shut. America, America. Every time I hear that phrase about he closed the border, like everybody's saying that and hearing it doesn't even know what the hell that even means. We just say all kinds of shit in this country, and it's just mind-blowing. Anyway, Lindsay's in the house, and I'm an old man, so I can't see, so I gotta put my glasses on. See what kind of jokes. Good to see you, man. It's been a while. Make This Fit was what? Make This Fit was my nickname in a Make This what? What are you saying, Benny Johnson? Yes, that's who. Because the president allows them to be the worst version of themselves in public. Well, for some of them, absolutely. For the rest, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not a black and white issue. Some of them are definitely clueless. So I guess you can't get too mad because they just don't get it. Some of them don't get it because they don't want to get it. That's another category. It's kind of like deep down inside, something is bothering them about this whole thing. But it's kind of like, it's a thing we do as humans, right? We hide from uncomfortable truths. You've been coughing up blood lately, and deep down inside, you know, I should see a doctor. 10 years later, you pass out, and then you go to a doctor, and the doctor says, stage 4 cancer. But you were coughing blood 10 years ago. And every once in a while, you have the anxiety, but you just, right? So some people don't get it because they don't want to get it, right? They're kind of lying to themselves. They're kind of, what's the word? Willingly ignorant. So there's people who are just clueless. There's some people who are willingly ignorant. And then you have the savages. The people who know how bad and corrupt Donald Trump is, but they want the tax benefits or something else like that. And they see Trump lying to people who share their ideology, right? And they're okay with Trump manipulating these people because all they care about is themselves, right? I want my tax breaks. Fuck you. Like, you're such a moron. You actually believe what Trump is saying. You're such a moron. And then maybe you even like, you hear them saying like, Trump is doing a great job. And you're sitting there like, yeah, man, he's a great guy. And in their brains, they're like, this guy is a moron. Now, I want to be clear what I'm saying. I'm talking about wealthy Trump voter, right? Talking to a poor Trump voter or middle-class Trump voter. And sitting there like, yeah, Trump, yeah, he's a business. Da, 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 da. Meanwhile, that wealthy Trump supporter in his mind is like, man, you're a moron. Because they just want the tax benefits. They're like, this guy is corrupt as hell. This guy is a moron, whatever it is. But they're like, he's pro-corporate, right? He's going to get me my tax breaks, right? He's like, maybe you're in crypto. I want to do some crypto scam stuff, and on the Trump, scamming in crypto is legal now, I guess. So you're like, yeah. So you're like doubling your net worth. Meanwhile, you're talking to middle class and poor people, like you agree with them. Yeah, yeah, Trump is, he's a real president. Da, da, da. And you agree with the liberals, right? You got these wealthy Trump voters that agree with the liberals that Trump is bad and blah 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 blah. They even agree like he's damaging the country, but they don't care. I'm gonna buy another mansion with these tax breaks that I get. So who cares? If things get bad enough, got enough money to fly everybody in my family that I care about to whatever country I want and, buy new mansions, right? We all jump into our mega yacht and go travel somewhere else. So, we're good, right? So there's a lot of different people. And of course you have people that are just not really paying attention, focused on their lives and their work and their family, and just don't have enough information, right? Whatever is getting to them is enough for them to support Trump, but they don't really know who Trump is. They're not into politics. Anyway, this is Baby Channel. Baby, comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. And I'm out. Still like Trump in 2026. Wow. Imagine that.